Hello there, Internet, and welcome back to some more Binding of Isaac Rebirth. Last time we played on hard mode. Today, we're gonna play on normal mode. But I will make it a little bit more difficult. I think I'll go as Samson. Lost. Okay. So Samson starts with pretty good health. Very terrible damage. High shot speed. And normal tears. Then he has some bloody lust, which I at first thought meant that the more enemies you killed on a certain room, the more, I guess I'll just go into the cursor immediately, the more damage you would deal over the course of the room. But it turns out that the way it works in Rebirth is that the more damage you take on a floor, the more damage you're gonna deal for the rest of the floor. So that can be totally exploitable, and is kind of cool. The correct way to handle this is by going out without taking the heart. Then we can always go back in if we need half a heart for another purpose. And the nudge axe allows us to destroy all rocks on a room. So that's actually useful in this particular case. It would have probably been even more useful to use it on this room because then I could have just bombed the tinted rock. So hopefully I'm gonna get another charge on the nudge axe, even though that looks like it's not gonna happen. That was a little unfortunate. Or otherwise, I hope that I'm just gonna get a bomb somehow. So, he's a lot weaker than Isaac, but then again, we now know many of the items in the game, and we can make some qualified decisions on how to proceed in many cases. So I hope it's not gonna be a big problem. I still want to go to the boss rush room, which requires me to beat Mom in less than 20 minutes. And I normally, when I've been fast, I've done it in around 25. So it's not like it's impossible at all. I just need to actively think about it. And maybe I shouldn't spend like a full minute blowing up poop, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So it hurts a little bit to not get those 3 bombs back in that other room, but whatever. We're ahead of the clock right now. I'll waste a soul heart just to save some time. Get a soul heart back. And I can't actually do anything with that stone chest. I wonder if I could actually destroy a stone chest with the notched axe. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case indeed. Shot speed is kind of nice actually. It used to be pretty bad. Now it's pretty good. Oh, we have Curse of the Blind, so we don't know what items we're getting. Oh, Curse Die, that's the one that randomly teleports us, I think. Yeah, I think. But it also allows us to charge some shots, which is kind of cool. So it's good, but it's pretty bad, actually. I don't know what that is, but I'll take it. Or apparently I won't. Can I take it now? Swallowed penny. Gulp. Okay. I have no idea what that does at all. But I'm imagining that it probably does something when we pick up money. That's how the penny items normally work. So we will see. So Curse Die, it's kind of nice, because if you use it correctly, you're gonna deal more damage on average. You can only charge up to 4 shots though, so it's a lot better if you actually have good damage already. And if you have like very bad damage, but incredible tears, then it's probably actually worse than what you currently have. So that's what I mean when I say that we now know what this game kind of does. It means that we can actually make decisions like that. There are that could otherwise be just screwing us over. But in this particular case, of course, we couldn't really do much about it because we have Curse of the Blind. Let me just quickly go and check the rest of the floor before I deal with the boss. Again, I could choose not to do that to save some time, but we still have plenty of time here. Whoops. The knockback causes us to be a little strange, though. Also, if my aim were better, I would probably also be better off here. Okay, that's good. No reason to go back here, apparently. Yeah, let's check for a secret room. Could just as well have been above us, I think. So, this was just pure luck. And I guess that battery is not really going to be good for much. Unless there was a mark rock somewhere, but I don't think there was. I at least don't remember seeing one. Nope. So let's just move on. We can use the axe also in some situations to clear out rooms where there's like rocks messing up the design. So that's kind of useful. But in general, I certainly hope that we're gonna get a better space bar item at some point. I guess on a boss like this, I should really just use the tears more often and not really charge them, because the DPS is gonna be the same on a stationary enemy. That was very bad damage. But yeah, the more damage we take, the more powerful we become. There's a devil room. Pentagram, that's absolutely fantastic. That's something I like to see. It's just a plain damage up. Nothing to complain about there. And this is actually kind of nice, because I wouldn't really want to take a devil deal if I didn't know what the actual items were. But also that was not actually all that nice at all. Okay, still on time for a boss rush. Of course, if I want to do the boss rush, remember the boss rush, you need to kill essentially all the enemies from Wrath of the Lamb, the earlier version of the Binding of Isaac. So if I have to do that, I would much prefer to be super overpowered. So it's not like something I just will always be able to do, I'm afraid, because there are a lot of bosses, and even though the setup of the room that you deal with them in is kind of simplistic and makes it a lot easier, in particular with Notched Axe actually, because you can just remove all the rocks in there. Those are kind of the only obstacles that could make it worse. Even though that's the way it works, you still need to deal with a number of bosses. So it's not going to be trivial. I did this just to get a few more consumables, and I'm happy that we actually did. So yeah. And another key. I just did that hard mode run, the last episode, just before I started recording this one. And it feels so incredibly good to have some keys. To the extent where I actually think that maybe hard mode is a little silly. I definitely don't mind, for instance, having more champions. That's kind of nice, and a nice way to up the difficulty. But not getting consumables, which, I mean, that kind of just destroys half the gameplay, because it means that you're gonna get... Well, you can end up in situations where you're simply not gonna get item rooms, even if you play well and try to take that into account, which I think is maybe just a little bit silly. Kind of destroys the fun of the game. So yeah. Spoon banner. Homing shots. I'll take it. If I had some way of becoming invincible, the mushroom room back there would actually be a nice place to use the notched axe. Any marks? Yes. Because mushrooms can give you stuff, but I'm not gonna do it unless I get invincibility, because mushrooms can also deal damage to you, and that's no fun at all. I guess I'll use notched axe on this room to gain access to that chest eventually. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a dead end. No, okay, it's not a dead end. So maybe I will be surprised if it's a dead end. And now you see Cursed Eye in action. Teleported us out of the room, which is terribly annoying. And I guess I'll have a charge ready for the axe at some point here. Ah, shit. So the more damage I'll take again makes me more powerful, so it doesn't feel as bad to take damage when you're a Samson, which is kind of neat, actually. Yeah. Devil room, please. Yes. What is this? Oh, we had that before. It gives us a couple of bombs and a black heart. Okay, I'll take a mom's knife, and I'll definitely take Dark Bomb. Dark Bomb turns red hearts into soul hearts. And this is a contract from below, which I don't actually know what does. So maybe I won't take it just because I'm getting a little nervous about our health. Okay, so that's a single soul heart. That's pretty good. And Dark Bomb could turn more soul hearts into, or more red hearts into soul hearts. I think the ratio is about 1.5 to 1. So whenever you pick up 1.5 red hearts, it gives you a soul heart. So if you can just run, I mean, you can just... I guess what I should have done is probably pick up the lost contract, now that I think of it. Or what's it called again? Something contract. Because with that... I mean, I could have just run on soul hearts and nothing else. So, yeah. Maybe that was kind of a mistake. It also probably means that I'm not gonna fight the final boss on this run, because we need angel rooms to make that happen, and the way you get angel room is by skipping on deals with the devil. When did I get goat head? I don't remember getting goat head. So our range or our tears, one of them is kind of bad right now actually. Homing knife is really strange. I don't think I had that before. So I wonder how this works with Cursed Eye actually. It seems like it simply doesn't, would be my guess. Ah, okay. Why did I get money? I'm not entirely sure what's going on in this run, as you can tell. And also not sure why I'm taking so much damage. I'm not sure I like this homing knife. You like to use the knife. Oh, I know why I got the money. Probably from Swallow Penny, maybe. Isaac's Fork. I also forget what it does. Let's keep Swallow Penny and see if we get more money drops somehow. Yeah, I don't really like using or having a homing knife because the knife very much protects you from enemies. For enemies running into you. So health up is really good. Bombs are key is actually pretty good, and amnesia. That sucks. So, of course, it's a little annoying that he just takes all of the health. I would like to get a little bit of it myself. Particularly, I may as well get back to full health. Is that true? I guess eventually I'll be looking to get completely rid of my red heart containers. But for now, I guess I may as well just stick to full health. Let's just use the notchacks in this room. Save a single bomb. And is that health up? I think it is. That's very good. I saw... Okay, I read the... I thought that I read the message, and I'm pretty sure it said health up. But of course it was a health down pill. The way health down pills work is that if you have one health container or less, then they turn into a health up. So that was incredibly stupid of me. I should have just spent 300 milliseconds, read the actual text, and then not picked it up. That was a little unfortunate. Let's just quickly rush the boss here because our damage is fantastic. We get another deal with Devil, and I will certainly take the Book of Belial instead of Notch Axe. And I guess I'll take this. Gobby's Collar, when we die, there's a 50% chance that we get come back to life with 1 health. So that gets me closer to my plan of having no health at all. Which will make sense eventually, I promise. For now, still, I want to see if I can get a chance at the boss rush thing. Just because we're actually pretty powerful now that we have the knife. The knife is really the what makes this run work, if anything is going to make this run work. I'm not saying that we're going to beat the game yet, but having this knife certainly makes it a lot easier. The battery could be useful. Dark Bomb, you can have that. So now really I just want to feed Dark Bomb with all of oh wow, all of the health I find. So I definitely believe that Swallow Penny drops money when we take damage. At least I don't think we have any other items that would do that. So optimally I don't take damage of course, but now at least there is a point to going to a shop if we find one, which is also nice. I haven't really had that chance so far on this run. There's a tarot card. Empress, pretty good. Turns us into a devil in a single room. Means that we deal more damage. So yeah, I like damage. I will go in here, even though we're losing a lot of health. I'm somehow trusting Dark Bomb to provide us with enough health to make this work for now. Of course, we're getting very close to the boss rush room. That's gonna happen on the next floor. So if that's gonna work, I'll have to have more health than I have right now. I don't believe that we're gonna beat the boss rush with our current health situation. But still though, I'm not too worried yet. I will be at some point. I hit this room. Stuff that flies from the other half of the room where you can't actually see them flying unless you take a very close look at the shadows. That guy dying gave us a bunch of flies. That's pretty cool. And that's a soul heart. Thank you. Not sure what killed everything there, but okay. Another soul heart is very good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this run so far. Also, this room or this floor looks pretty linear, so I don't think we actually need to do too much backtracking. Any marks? I'm just looking for mark rocks. I don't see any. That's Spider Bud. That was it said? Does it say plus damage? Yeah, I think it just deals damage to all enemies in a room and then slows them down. I think a Book of Belial is better just from the damage perspective. So I'm gonna take that instead. I don't think we saw Spider Bud before though. Okay, so our range is pretty good, but our tiers are kind of bad, I think. I think that's what's going on here. Guess I'll put down a bomb here. Get this chest containing a little bit more money. Yeah, so you can feed Dark Bomb on a single room and then he'll give you the health on the next room. That's useful in a couple of situations. I guess this must be the shop then. Mom's bottle of pills is probably not better. I'll buy the pill though, because we know that we have some good pills. That's not one of them. Lockdown is actually pretty terrible. And then I'll put a little bit of money into this. 11 cents. That means that if I get a shop on the next floor, I'll still be able to use it. Still wondering what's up with the marks on the floor. They must mean something, right? Ah, this room. So annoying. Here it would be kind of nice to still have the axe to break open some skulls. So normally at this point I would look for a secret room, but since we have amnesia, I'm not actually going to. Okay, so let's use Book of Belial. I should use that more often, but it's just that there's often not really a good reason to do it. That was very easy. Dark Bomb gets a bit of food. I get a health upgrade, which maybe I shouldn't have taken, because otherwise I would actually have had a much better devil deal chance, I suppose. Okay, I'm gonna fight Krampus anyway. Would have been nice to have... wow! Why do I deal so much damage all of a sudden? That's, no, I don't know, strange. It would of course have been nice to have Book of Belial ready for that, but apparently we don't actually need that. I also don't quite know how Lump of Coal works together with the knife, but just because the knife is now colored, I imagine that it does work at least. So we're still ahead of the clock. What's our time at? It's 5 minutes to beat this floor. And that in particular means that 5 minutes is actually not a whole lot, so maybe I shouldn't have gone into this room. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I didn't. I just saw a golden chest and figured I have so many keys. Why don't I go in here? And now I'm actually kind of happy that I did, because that was very easy. Health, please. Single key. Fair enough. So as you can tell, I'm not used to not min-maxing. That was kind of lucky. That's the power of the knife. I guess if I'm ever using Book of Belial, this would be one of the rooms to use it on, just to one-shot these guys. Ah, so bad. I was about to say that just to make it guaranteed that I don't take damage in this room, and then of course I take damage immediately after. I think at this... Okay, I didn't know that we had more guys in here. That's bad. Did I not take damage from that? It seems weird to me. Either I did not take damage or I took a full heart of damage. I hope that the first thing is the case. So anyway, I was about to say that I think at this point I have enough health to make the boss rush room possible. Just because also in the boss room, you're gonna get some more health, and then Dark Bomb can really help us out. So I'm gonna go down to 2 keys, I guess. That's a lot of chests, so I should really open those up before going on. Yep. Maybe I'll just stop here then. That's another soul heart and a half. Lockdown I'm not too interested in. Empress is really good. Okay, pheromones. So I will of course make sure to go to the shop and the item room before actually dealing with the boss. I think I have time for that. Timer's 2.5 minutes. Actually kind of stressful adding this to your plan on the floor. I'm not sure why I went into this room. There's a very good chance that this was not going to contain anything. So maybe I have to go to the shop, even though it's probably just greed. Okay, there's our item room. That's one thing off my mind. That contains Book of Shadows is also pretty good. Is it as good as... it's probably actually better than Book of Belial. The thing is, I think Book of Belial gives you a little bit of damage, which is very nice if you have very little damage. Book of Shadows gives you invincibility, which is very nice if you have a lot of damage. Because... oh, shit. Because you don't need as much time to actually deal with a boss, for instance, when you have much damage. So I'm a little curious if I could just go back to the key beggar now that I have the golden key. If I end up somehow getting a teleport effect, I'll try it out, but I don't think I'll have time otherwise. Yeah, I only have a minute and a half. That's not a lot. And this is 1+1 or whatever it's called. Not entirely sure what it does, but I'm gonna take it. And for once we could actually just go insane on this room. I will blow up this dude. He can contain something. Contain a few cents, which will go into the donation machine. 139. So hopefully the boss is gonna be this way. I would be a little bit surprised if she is not. This is the lovers, which is good. You can have those. Health. Okay, there's our boss room. So this should be possible. We could deal with the boss in less than half a minute, I'm pretty sure. There's Mom. Of course, we need a little bit of good luck on the doors here. It works. Okay, so we actually get to decide where we want to go now. Do we want to go to the chest or do we want to go to the dark room? Let's go to the dark room. It's been a while. We went to the chest so many times recently. I think I can go into the devil room first. Gives me Horror Babylon. I definitely want that. Horror Babylon means that if you have 1 heart or less, which I now do, 1 red heart that is. I think actually half red heart or less. Unless you're Eve, then it's 1 heart or less to be 100% precise. Then... oh, do I want any of these actually? I think this is synth oil. Oh, I can never tell these syringes apart. But anyway, it turns into a devil that deals more damage. Essentially the same effect as the Empress, which might now be useless. I don't know. So I'm not gonna take Tiny Planet because that was terrible with the knife. I'm not gonna take the bean because that's terrible altogether. I think the one on the left is either damage up or speed up. And I would like a damage up, but I don't want the speed up. And the one on the right, I forget what does. Is that Aquarius? Sagittarius. Okay, so that's also speed up and a penetrative shot, which probably deals nothing. So maybe that was the incorrect decision. I'm not so sure. I guess I should pop the Empress card, even though I don't actually think it does anything since we already have the Horror Babylon. It makes us a lot faster, that's for sure. And, okay. It would, of course, have been nice to actually have the Book of Shadows charged, but it's not gonna matter. We're getting a ton of soul hearts. I don't actually think that Dark Bomb is the reason for that. I think that's just a miter at work. So health-wise, everything should be really good. Still, though, I guess I should just feed Dark Bomb as much as possible. Also, at this point, I don't actually need to stress as much. After this fight, I can just min-max how just like I normally play the game, which is of course nice. Also, whenever I deal that, or whenever I take damage, I'm gonna become stronger. So at some points, I'm gonna have more soul hearts than I can actually use, which is silly, but probably true. And at that point, I should just take damage, like kamikaze into some bad guys, because at that point, there's no reason not to do that. Anyway, that was a long and convoluted way to say something very simple. I think he just got a little smaller when he died. It's strange. So I don't think there's gonna be any way for us to actually get out of this boss fight and back to the floor, even though that would be kind of nice to roam the rest of the floor while we're still on the easy ones. That's okay. But we are certainly dealing a lot of damage at the moment. We should be getting close to the end of this. I think maybe 2 or 3 of these left. 1 more than this. No, we need to... Did we fight the horseman already? Maybe we did. This is moving so fast. No, we didn't fight the horseman, did we? I'm not sure. Alright. This guy should be very difficult to forget because he's probably one of the most annoying ones with the current setup. It says a lot about the current situation that I can just deal with the Mask of Infamy and not even worry about it. Normally he's probably one of the trickiest bosses to deal with. At this point, I should take damage, as I talked about, but Whatever. I'm gonna take damage if I'm gonna take damage. I think this is the last one. There we go. And we unlocked Samson Chains for actually doing this. Satanic Bible. Is that better? So that spawns a black heart once in a while. But I think that we have so much health though. That Book of Shadows might actually be better, but it's a very difficult decision. I would say 7 times out of 10 maybe I would take the Satanic Bible over Book of Shadows. But since Book of Shadows is a 3-room charge, I think that actually makes it a bit better. I can use this whenever I otherwise would take damage, and then I can just rely on Dark Bomb here. That was kind of a mistake. I should have kind of rushed out of the room and have him spawn the soul hearts on a different room. That's not even possible. I don't know. I don't think I can get out again. But that was fun. We actually did the boss rush on a campaign mode. So I need to do that with all characters, and even more, I actually need to do that on hard mode with all characters. So we have not beaten this game yet. One-shotting these guys feels very good. Of course, black hearts are better than soul hearts, so that's another reason for preferring the Satanic Bible over Book of Shadows. At some point I was wondering if the Satanic Bible actually spawns a particular boss for you, because Book of Revelations, which is essentially the same item as... oh, I can't see my health. Which is essentially the same item as the Satanic Bible, works that way, so let's just do this. If the next boss is tricky, I'm just gonna use Book of Shadows. I have it ready and charged. Actually, the AAA battery here could become super useful. The homing knife would be so much better if it actually homed towards enemies, not just like close to them. I feel like my aim would probably be better without it, so let's just pop down Book of Shadows, make this a lot easier. Oh, and this is not even a boss challenge room, we're just facing bosses. So I'm gonna take the AAA battery. I think that means that this the book that we have is now a 2-room charge instead of a 3-room charge, which makes me even happier. I think that's a... no? No, it looks a bit like a marked rock, but I don't think it is. The one directly below me here. Are there any marked rocks? I don't see any. Also, it doesn't matter too much. I think we're very close to full health at the moment. But the slot machine could be meaningful. I would prefer to see another donation machine, of course, but that's a little unlikely. It will only happen if we find an arcade, which could happen. There are arcades on the floor. I don't think donation machines can spawn other places, so if I remember correctly. So we now do indeed have a 2-room charge on our Book of Shadows. We can use it here, go in here if we like, and get 9 lives. Do I have any Guppy items? I have Guppy's color, right? But that's it. So I'm not close to becoming Guppy at the moment. The question is, do I want 9 lives? I mean, I'm gonna get a full red heart container, but it's gonna make the polar or the negative worse. Let's just take it. Hopefully we become Guppy so that this will all be worth it. Range down. Okay. Let's take this chest. It contains a bunch of money. Could be good. Hopefully we find a beggar or something like that. Bomb and 2 keys. Sure. We're not going to be going to the chest, so it's not like we need a ton of keys for anything. More money. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm still not sure if that's a correct decision, the one that I took there. But hopefully we become Guppy. Then I will be happy. So remember that becoming Guppy requires us to find 3 Guppy items. We now have 2. And if we become Guppy, then we spawn flies every time we deal damage. And flies deal a ton of damage to enemies. So that's very, very good. Also, you can fly, which is also very useful in many situations. I'll go in here. And I guess I'll go in here. What's this blue? Or fade. Oh, okay, that just allows us to fly. Great, then I don't need to worry about anything. I need to worry less about becoming Guppy, I guess. Now that's taken care of. for us. These guys are super annoying. They can spawn right in your face. So if we can just hover over this abyss when they do, that's good. Mr. Fred should be easy because we can just run up to him and then kill him if he decides to spawn. Okay, again, please. So the length, the duration of the Book of Shadows is what makes it so incredible. I mean, there are many items that sort of has the same purpose. There's Mom's Bra. There are several items that give you invincibility, but Book of Shadows is just so good because the invincibility is so long. But it becomes a lot better the more damage you have, and we're in an exceptional position where we have a ton of damage already. Teleport into the same room. Not too worried about that. Troll bomb, and another troll bomb. That's a little annoying. So our devil rooms haven't been fantastic so far, but it's all okay. Hopefully we don't have Curse of the Blind. I'm a little curious how much health I lost. I don't even remember picking up an internal heart. When did I do that? Does that mean that I have 2 red heart containers? It seems a little annoying. So it's good that we have so much health, because otherwise I would need to worry about dying. Which I don't want to. This homing knife is so incredibly annoying, actually. That's something to notice for the future. Mom's knife plus spoon bender, not actually good. I mean, I imagine it's so good in a few situations where you want to stay out of the line of sight of your enemies. For instance, here I could have made use of that, but it doesn't really compensate for the aim being pretty terrible. Okay, so this looks like it could easily be the right dice. What was that? I think I don't even need to make the point. The game is very much making the point for me at this point. Okay, that was indeed the correct way, so I'm not gonna use Book of Shadows immediately. I'm just gonna use it on the boss fight, and I will use the Book of Shadows after we dealt with the lasers, because that's how I normally play. Okay. Yep. Here we go. Feels really good to be able to unlock some of these guys. I guess we did already kill the Mom's Heart with Samson, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna be able to kill at least Satan as well, which feels very good because we haven't done so previously. And there's nothing in here, right? There's a few fires, so I guess there's no reason not to blow those out. But let's move on to Shoal. Long time no see. Curse of the Lost. Why do we get so many curses? Okay, well, we now have a ton of health. Well, we already had a ton of health, but we now know that we have had a ton of health. So I wouldn't actually mind losing some of it, just to make the negative efficient. So remember, the way that the negative works is that if you take damage while you have half a red heart or less, then it means that you get something like the Necronomicon effect. You deal damage to all enemies in the room. So since it would be very easy for us to survive with half a red heart or less, having these red heart containers is probably not a very good thing. But then on the other hand, we have so much. Okay, I think I would have taken damage if I didn't pop Book of Shadows right there. So I'm glad that I did. What an annoying room. Broken magnet is not very good. It means that we can get keys maybe, and money, or maybe it's just money. That we otherwise wouldn't be able to get if it's like across a gap. But since we can fly, it doesn't actually do anything. I guess I should have probably just popped the Book of Shadows here as well. I imagine this is going to be a soul heart. Or a black heart, thank you. I wonder if it's always like that, if he always has a chance to give you black hearts. If so, that's pretty cool. We will, of course, now take a full heart of damage from every source of damage, which is not so good. One of these is a health down. Bombs are key. It doesn't make any difference. Let's just keep our bombs. I'll keep the health down pill there, because if we somehow manage to lose one of the red hearts that we have, we can get a health. This pill will turn into a health up instead. I could also use the health down to somehow. Where do I want to go? Make good use of what I was talking about before, where I actually want to get rid of my red heart containers. But still, I want to get down to half a red heart. Simply being at a full red heart will not actually help me out, so I'm not going to do that. So these guys think that they can fly, but they actually can't. Which is a little silly. I guess I will blow up these. Does this work? Just to check my alignment. It does. Right. Still think around 25% chance to get a soul heart out of those fires, so that's a good excuse to use a few bombs when you have a bunch of them. I'm not sure how mark rocks work on Shoal. I guess I'll just put down a bomb here as well. Could also take care of some enemies. That's bad damage. I'm not sure if you can actually tell which rocks are marked, so I'm just... yeah. If I had an infinite amount of bombs, maybe I'll just start blowing up some rocks at this point. I guess in this particular room, homing knife is kind of useful because I can't actually tell which of these are enemies that I can kill and which aren't, even though it should be easy. They look so similar. I won't be using 10 bombs for anything, so let's just blow these up. There's a chance that they contain a fantastic tarot card. Or just some turrets. Not worth it. I'm not sure if that's a boss challenge room or an ordinary challenge room. Maybe there is some way to tell from the door frame. I don't know though. Should use my Book of Shadows more often just because it charges every second room. Thing is, I don't know when the boss fight is gonna show up, and there it is. So I could... I can't really use these health down pills for anything. That's a little silly. I could use one and then it turns into a... how does it work? Yeah, I could use one... so I could empty one red heart container now by taking one and then taking the other. Which is kind of silly. I don't think there is any use of that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and go. It works! Whoops, a little bit of dodging. Should remember that we get more damage every time we take damage, so I guess that's actually a reason for using the health down pill, isn't it? I will use the Book of Shadows in the last part because it's probably the trickiest. Maybe I should have waited 2 seconds to say that. We unlocked Blood Rights, which is not very good, but well, it's something we needed to do at some point. Okay, let's move on to the Dark Room. Very happy if we do manage to beat the Dark Room in the first round. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get to the final boss fight unless we get Dad's key. So I guess typically if you just want to go for a final boss fight... excuse me. And, oh, Guppy's tail. We're now Guppy. Then there's a good reason to go to the chest because you're going to get more items on the chest, including the possibility of getting Dad's key. That's something to be aware of. So we're not Guppy. We have a Guppy still. That means that we get more red chests or golden chests, but I think that that doesn't make any difference on the Dark Room. I think all chests are red chests here. We get 2 amnesia pills and we teleport into a devil room. That's hilarious. I kind of regret not picking the health down pill because with the health down pill we could have picked up Brother Bobby and then got rid of all of our red hearts. I guess I could pick up Lord of the Pit, but that seems a little too aggressive and something I don't want to do, even though it would make a lot of sense. So hopefully we get a chance to come back in here and then I'll pull that trick. Can I do something else about that? No. Not sure if how to deal with this efficiently, but I'm also not entirely sure it's gonna make a big difference. I think we are... I mean, we're not the most powerful we've ever been, but we are pretty powerful. Faith up, not sure if that's gonna be useful for anything. This is an annoying room, so let's just pop Book of Shadows to make it very much simpler. Pulse Worm. I'm picking up just because I wonder how it works. Looks like it doesn't actually do anything. Silly. Oh, maybe it does. You just can't tell. Normally, Pulse Worm means that the damage that your tears deal is a lot more random. It's somewhat spread up according to how... Whoa! That's a sick shot. According to how far your shots have traveled. In a sense, in a way that it's almost impossible to actually control. Unless you're really good at the game, I suppose. So I wonder if it probably deals the same, does the same with the knife, but without the visual effect, which makes it even more difficult to use efficiently. Yeah, let's just use Book of Shadows. I was a little hesitant, but whatever, let's just do it. It's a little strange that there's apparently no death effect associated to the Mask of Infamy, or at least none that I could see. Range down. No, thank you. This is also kind of an annoying room, so let's just do it like this. The scythes here in particular were what caused me, to actually do this, because they can be scary. It's a little unfortunate that the horses fly in opposite directions, but I guess we're okay. Not leave, that's interesting. It means that if we stand still, then eventually we'll not take any damage. So if we had a passive way of dealing damage, which we actually does, let's actually try this out. I haven't had the chance before. I guess I'll just need to have these guys run into me. I'm not touching my keyboard at the moment. This is very silly. So I can use that to somehow augment my Book of Shadows a little bit. But we do actually get a golden chest. That's an attack fly, I think. Which means that our Gnawed Leaf becomes even more powerful, because now we can certainly just stand still. So now we can just turn this into a matter of patience. Let's try it again. These guys aren't actually gonna charge me, I guess. So here it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So let's just pop Book of Shadows and then take care of this room. Start with Super Greed, because his shots are the more tricky ones to dodge. Turns out it doesn't really make any difference, because we can almost kill all of them anyway. Bunch of money that we cannot use for anything. And a single soul heart, please. Thank you. I think we're gonna win this game. Yeah, these guys are gonna charge me. I think the timing was very close there. I almost took damage, which would have been a little bit silly. Book of Sin. It gives us a random item, or a random consumable. In this case, a soul heart, which is not really a consumable. I guess it is in some senses, but not in any particular sense that I was planning to use it. So I said at some point that chest is probably better, because you can get Dad's key. Turns out that we actually get a fair amount of items on the dark room as well. So maybe I shouldn't record or make that note anyway. I should probably just use the Book of Shadows here. Let's do it now. And at this point, I guess I could just stand still and these guys would kill themselves on me. Let's try it out. Fly into me, please. No? No, almost. Oh, goddammit, just die. I wonder how much damage the guppy flies actually deal. These guys will also charge me, so again I could use Gnawed Leaf and not be bad. But whatever. Because normally I think the guppy flies, they scale with your damage. It seems like we're not actually spawning a lot of guppy flies, even though we are guppy. I wonder if that's how the... Oh, that's piercing shots? Yeah. I don't think that does anything with knife. But maybe the knife means that you don't spawn as many guppy flies? I don't know. Anyway, having a Book of Shadows being a 2-room charge means that we should actually just use it whenever we can't see the boss room. Because it means that if we do that, we will always be able to get a full charge, unless we come across empty rooms. Poison bombs could be useful. I'll probably use those in conjunction with the Book of Shadows in the boss fight, which is there. And we will, of course, by what I just said, have a full charge ready. Maybe I should just stand still here. It takes a little while for Gnawed Leaf to actually trigger. That was kind of lucky. But yeah. My reflection, I don't think it's good with the mom's knife, but I will come back and pick it up because I forget if we already picked it up before. Okay, let's just do this. The lamb. So I guess I'll pop Book of Shadows down immediately, and then I should just really use as many bombs as I can. Yep, and get out of there. Not that it's gonna matter, but let's do it anyway. So, I still haven't really figured out how this boss works, because I'm always so overpowered when I get here. But it certainly seems to not really work all that much. So that unlocked the Samson's lock first. Let's check out how my reflection works with the knife. Okay, it doesn't seem to do anything. I was afraid that it was gonna lower its range, because it does so normally, somehow. It's efficient range anyway. Effective range, whatever. Okay, fun stuff. Fairly fast as well. That's the missing poster ending. We've seen that a couple of times. Good stuff. We still need to deal with the other half of the note up there. But one thing you should notice now is that we now have the boss rush star finally on one of our characters. We do need to get that on hard mode with every single one of them. That's just gonna take a while. Good thing that this game is actually very fun, so it doesn't matter how long it takes. Oh, yeah. That's good. Fun run. I liked it. I hope you guys did as well. For now, thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you some other time.